This week on FMF Unboxed, we almost died. Not even making that up.
Anything about them? I saw them. You know, my dad would just take me walking up here. I saw that just once in my life.
Yeah. We finally found the caves. We haven't been hiking that long, but we found them. Now we just got to get over there.
Yeah, it's just what, 200-foot steep decline to woods.
I'm sure the trail loops around.
You think you're with me?
Yeah. At least we made it to the merry-go-round, so after this we can have a spin or two. That'll be fun. So that bench over there in the distance is where those old people were before. So therefore, vis-a-vis accordingly, this steep cliff must lead to the caves of Tilden.
And those must be the caves right there. You can see the granite.
Oh yeah. So yeah, hopefully it leads to the caves, and hopefully they're actually caves and not nooks. Ugh. It's this trail is very. Yeah, we should have worn hiking shoes or cleats or something, because that is one heck of a drop. I don't know how well that's coming across on camera, but there's a reason the safety rail is here. And the trail we're hiking on is very slippery. It's so slippery I've been calling it a Tootsie Roll, because I almost bit it a few times. Ugh. A trail? I don't even know if we're still on a trail.
It should stay on trail, the thing we went down.
Is there a...
It's just the fucking trail. Try to get to a deer trail.
This is turning into a death trail is what it's turning into.
Yeah.
That's a trail? Alright. We're just going to descend down this incredibly steep trail to the caves. Don't you go dying on me. I'm sure that rail is just there for a suggestion. I'm sure there's nothing dangerous at all about scaling the side of this cliff. Nothing dangerous at all.
Okay, so story time. These are the caves we were trying to get to. That railing was right about here. And we hopped over that railing and started making our way down the cliff, looking for a trail that would lead to these caves here. Fortunately, there was no such trail, so we were going to have to work our way all the way down to the bottom and up. So, first things first, as we're scaling down this hill, right about here, I slip, lose my footing, and start sliding down the hill. I managed to grab on to a tree. It might have even been this tree right here. But I grabbed onto a tree and was pretty much dangling off a cliff, holding on to my camera with one arm and holding on to the tree with my other. Called out for Chad. He, of course, was way over here, had no way to get to me. So tossed my camera down, and I dropped about 8 to 10 feet straight down, which 8 feet, 10 feet, it's not a whole lot, but when you drop 10 feet down and then there's another hill at like 80-degree incline, it's kind of scary, because then I slid all the way down that hill and ended up way down here in the cavern. As soon as Chad made it to me, all he could do is look back up at where we were and where I was, and was just like, oh, wow, you got down here fast. And so that was scary. Totally almost died. That's not even the worst of it, because before that, when I was scaling down to try and find a path that led to these caves, I hopped the guardrail, and I started making my way down this way. And I got about as far down as I could safely, and tried to make my way back up, and lost my footing and slipped and almost fell off this cliff straight down. So that was pretty terrifying. I pretty much hugged the wall. My life flashed before my eyes. Realized I probably should have accomplished more by now. Oh. Lens is still intact. Tulip is a little scraped up. This rig took a fall off a cliff and is still ticking. All right. So then after those two near-death incidences, me and Chad slowly make our way through this little cavern here, through this little ravine, whatever this thing is. And there's thorns, and there's stinging nettles, and there's all these things. And we start to make our way up this cliff here. We're going to climb up to these caves from the bottom. There's got to be a way to get up there. The caves are right there. We've come so far. You're almost to the cave. Chad gets about to here before he slips and slides all the way down the cave. Again, he only slid down like 10 feet. He didn't drop like I did. But still, slipped down. I had no way to get to him. He almost bit it really hard. Moral of the story is this was incredibly dangerous, and no shot is worth your life. So please, please, please be more careful than we were, because this was really stupid.
Phil, don't come up here. Just film from down there. We're done.
It's not even a cave, it's a nook! No!
That's right, Mayweather.
Mayweather's a fucking bitch.
Man, he gonna knock
my man Pacquiao.
Nah, he gonna knock out Pacquiao.
It's
Shoot.
Pac-Man.
Man,
He's going to be President.
Pac-Man ain't got no power pellets in this fight.
He's going to be Filipino president after this fight. He's going to be good. He's going to be good. You know, he's my cousin. He's related to me. Says every Filipino ever.
Yeah.
You mention it.
I mean, if Mayweather can knock out the Big Show at WrestleMania 24, he can totally knock out Pacquiao.
Grab what we can while we're here. So long, Cave, you served us well.
Because we were here, and now we're somewhere, we're in one of these little interjections. Probably this first
Prospect
one.
Point is here.
Here. The Stewartsville one leads to the Ridge Trail, and the Ridge Trail leads.
I mean, we haven't changed directions to come up.
Yeah, so.
Maybe like this.
Well, because we came in from this way. The trail is 0.76 miles long, and it leads us to the trail we need, which leads us to where we need to go.
So, in layman's terms,
We're like a mile away from, or half a mile probably from where we are.
as the crow flies, we're less than half a mile.
Yeah. This is our new home.
Let's check it out and then I'll set up. Oh wow, this is short. Oh, this is cool. But it's short. But it's cool. We did it. Hardest episode to shoot ever. So for the big group shot at the end of the cult members approaching the house of our main character, we only had 2 people available, and we didn't even really have 2 robes. One was the same robe we used from Elf King, and the other was a black bed sheet that Angela was holding closed. So if you look at the footage as it was shot, it looks a little something like this. And so I just had Chad and Angela walk up and down this walkway a few times, and each way I had them walk a little bit different, change it up a little bit. Then I took that footage into After Effects, and I separated each walk cycle into its own layer, and I basically just rotoscoped out around them and masked around the top, cutting them out of the background, stacked them on top of each other. And then I did that for every layer, and then I stacked them all on top of each other, duplicated certain layers, adjusted the order, and then I was able to get this nice group shot here. And then by just adjusting the timing on certain clips, I was able to line people up and position them where I needed them to. Came out looking great. I could just keep copying and pasting as long as I wanted and have this shot go on as long as we needed. Then I was just going to add a little camera shake that built up over time, and color grade, we're done.
And that's how we did it, which means it's time for Q&A. This week's question comes from Stacy. She says, Season 4? ? Great question, Stacy. Yes, with an asterisk. There will be a Season 4. We're nowhere near done. We have lots more stories to tell. We just don't know when Season 4 will get here, because we are going to be taking a long break between the Halloween special and our next season. So in the meantime, if you haven't already, click subscribe, because we will be back on October 31st with our 3rd annual Halloween special. See you then.